Fellow Ambazonians, fellow people of the British Southern Cameroon, once more, welcome for this platform, the No Koni Talk Zone, a platform for the truth and nothing but the truth. Now the battle that would anchor them for this race for Ambazonia freedom, for always be there for tell the truth and nothing but the truth. And me, I be una host, Capo Daniel, the Deputy Defense Chief for the Ambazonia Defense Forces, Mr. No Koni Lukong, Ambazonian FBI, Sense Pass King. Yes, I've been a Sense Pass King. I want to welcome you once more for this platform. It will also air, it will be rebroadcast for our national TV, the ACN, because of our unavailability of our technical crew right now. So we're going to broadcast not only for this Facebook page for Ndong Ema. So it don't be a long time. I think Facebook will done block we off for this particular page for quite a while. So it don't be a long time while I'll be off this page. Better they always get a backup page, the Sense Pass King page will be open up for humor and fun and things as an alternative for this platform. It also help us say every time when Facebook shut us down, would if you go for there and they will continue for broadcast. So all man be highly welcome. And today we'll get a very big show. We'll be very excited with the news where they come for inside the United Nations, and it is circulate around the corridors of diplomacy, and also in particularly from the United States of America. Say Mr. Paul Biya named day amongst the list of people them where they prepare for target them, for sanction them as the war with the push for negotiated settlement for this war for our independence. And I will get a friend in the White House now. So ladies and gentlemen, all man be welcome. And even when they see me for Ground Zero, the time where I make this show for Hong Kong time now 1 a.m. for morning time on the 21st, but I put the date 20th so that make it match the date we did for Ground Zero. And for all na own that open a door then for welcoming for a TV screen for Ground Zero, for Ground 1 and all across the world where they watch ACN Ambazonia Communication Network. I want to thank you for invite me, for let me for come for the house for talk for today this day. And I go honor una for talk the truth and for bring una very critical information where you go help una for understand the future for this struggle for our liberation movement. So all man be highly welcome. As the tradition for this show a day, I will place on one Mutumbu where I will take and for welcome all man where they day for me for Facebook so that it will be interactive, and those of una wanna watch we for inside on a house. One love will day together, shake, day, all money, place, a day. So this song now a wonderful song, African song where a day on social media, and I choose a player today. That way the song is going to play, I will salute all my way day on live, if you watch me for Facebook, and if you day for a house, I want to salute all man for house for say we day together. So I salute and see Dong Lazarus today online. I salute you. And all our commanders of Ground Zero, I salute you now.
Line ho, uyu line ro mwana wanzeru, ukacha mama wa amatengazaje, kusesa pakomo pamaivaje. Mama, early morning, amatengazaje, kusesa pakomo.
And you see Don Money Day also for line, for watch live, or for salute here, or for salute our mission head for China, Mr. Prince, and our mission head for Switzerland, our mission head for the United Kingdom, and for salute all our political prisoners of war with the neighbor and conflict across the territory, and those of us with the neighbor inside the forest, bush, as IDPs, and those with the around Nigeria as well. All money plays a day. I want to salute all our commander the way they live inside the great state of Manfi and Faku, where they will make sure say these nations come. They get the message say Ambazonia that I reject this organized nations come with the organized. I also salute Cillian. The men we don't join online and see Amber on freedom to be done join. I salute all man in place today.
Agile gogo wana madingo Yamu ya mikira Udi na madingo mwana mene Mwana wanze Agile gogo wana madingo Yamu ya mikira Udi na madingo mwana mene Mwana wanze Simuku na mako Tawizi na mwe Malota Bambo wanga dandisi Enda salandeka Tawizi na mwe ni malota Bambo wanga atamwali
All man welcome. I see Peter Idan join me from online on Facebook. You be highly welcome. I want to salute our people that they live in America, in particular because they are making a lot of sacrifices them to make sure they make our TV day online. To make our them watch through. So the communities in America, the one for Germany, the one for United Kingdom, for Belgium. I salute now all, even for Gabon, South Africa. I salute now all, and I want to welcome all man today again for the show, the No Connie Talk show. It will be a long time for another come online, and when we need to come online, I go good thing because we will back the scene. We coordinate issue them, we try to make sure they in order and to do our job. And we don't get big good news for now. That I'm finally make an official appointment as the Deputy Defense Chief now, previously of the Savannah State and the Deputy Defense Chief now, all Ambazonia. I see Ivor Time Winter. I can't name them. Welcome, my brother.
Gamba kuti mwakwatira mwabala mwana oye Zina lache musolo Nangopanga chinkoso kwa tinza kuitana Musolo 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 mai Musolo 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 mai
Elwood Johnson, Don Sharif, on a welcome online. Yes, Arambi offline for a while. Arambi so busy. They work plenty, so I think they would expect they will appoint the Vice Deputy Defense Chief for assist me. So they work now through around the offline for a long time. Almost every day, material that don't flop, so you will see my fly around flops for presentation and updates. Then we will never be able to release them because we'll just be too busy. If you imagine, we'll try to bring the guys that together for Manfi, for Meme, me they can participate for the joint operation them, and just a lot of groups that they come in and a lot of plannings that they go through. We can launch the stabilization fund and so many things and so many meetings. And no, if you just give time to come online, but now the good thing that say. When we know we be online, we be focus for managing the ground zero, for make sure say me the roadmap way the leader that put on for we will push and make it go before for motivate the soldiers for handle issue they will need for handle them and for coordinate the activity they will do. That was a good thing. So ladies and gentlemen, today we'll get a lot of things to discuss. So we'll come to an end with that beautiful piece of music where it don't warm our heart. And I hope say that music it don't usher in all man it don't come, all man it plays day. As we don't take time we salute all man. Now we'll go enter for our opening presentation today for our opening statement. I don't want to talk for our opening statement before we get into the show. And for just take a moment for thank Ground Zero. We don't see a massive response for our people them across our national territory following the unity drive we see for Ground Zero. As the soldier them in particularly for FACO, they don't come together, all the factions them, the mountain lions them, they don't reject the ideology for Chris Anu for semi them begin attack their own brothers them. For the ADF, they don't abandon those things them. They don't come together. And all the forces them they don't come together, they don't say forces them they operate together. And it can be a very wonderful thing, very heartwarming thing. And Ground Zero, it notice, Ground Zero be that always one unity. and unity in purpose, no be unity for propaganda, no be unity for fight against somebody, not just unity for do the right thing. So as our soldiers they come together and we push the unity together for respect each other and for support each other, for fight alongside each other against a common enemy and to protect ourselves against inside attack. So it can be a wonderful thing. We also say even for Isa Kumba, for Biya, for Moliku, Mutengene, across the board, everybody it don't come for respect they goes down because their spirit they don't be jolly, they don't be happy, they receive hope because they know say together we stand, divided we fall. And at the type of unity this we don't always preach for. Unfortunately, we don't always get the splinter group of the IG way that they always try to destroy everything where it come for unity. But finally the boys around wise up. Say you know be normal, say person go shoot down for diaspora for a house. They talk to me they exterminate another group. Those words that we Cristiano talk them, it be treasonous, it be a betrayer, and one day he go answer for a crime. I just be happy say all the forces them from it start. I think the ball start rolling with Grandpa for Bali. Where he come out, he denounce them, and he go ahead for welcoming ADF brother them. We they don't be brothers there for a long time. As a matter of fact, I can assure when I say that just say ADF really do propaganda and to promote itself very well. Because if you look in terms of Manfe, there is no force in Manfe and in Fako that have used bullet that did not come through the ADF. No matter how the bullet come, it has come through the ADF. So all those forces there, they are working together. They have always been working together. They know each other. And they know that when these people come in from Maryland and they say that this one is working for La Republic, it's just lies. They are just lies. So we are very, very happy. We'll be happy. So once more, that was my opening statement. I don't get a lot of things for opening statement, but we'll get a lot of things for talk about today. The big news we will come with for what I will tell and I say Mr. Biya a name he did for the top list for the people the way American government he go target them for sanction them and for whip them, for drag them possibly to the ICJ for war crimes to the land they commit for Amazonia. So Mr. Biya B. Vondo Mr. Biya B. Vondo will become a prisoner very, very soon. This man who they see that criminal where he don't commit genocide, he don't commit targeted killing, extrajudicial killing, rape, torture for inside Amazonia using the military personnel. According to international law, a commander-in-chief, a head of state, get a responsibility, they call it ranks in fires, how did they use this big terminology for this big book them? He be responsible for the conduct of his soldiers and he be directly responsible even for supervise the soldier them and for make sure say when there are reports of abuses them, he stop up. So as a person who then declare war, the conduct of those soldiers them, he be directly responsible for their conduct. He need to supervise them, he need to take responsibility for their actions them, and the fact that they continue to kill our people, them burn villages them, the Mr. Biya, they directly never may happen or it directly instruct them. Nevertheless, as a commander-in-chief, he be responsible for the actions of those killed. The thing we don't trigger them, according to which we hear from our partners, that the killing where they go kill people in inside Mauto. Mauto, the 1 week of morning time, La Republic, their troops them that invade their village without any provocation, without the presence of any force, slaughtering women, shooting men from behind who are running into the bushes, killing children. So that is the monster we are facing. And this criminal will go to jail. With the way they deal with it, they will drag you inside your own junk suit for take and go down for international criminal court for crimes against humanity in Amazonia. So now very big news that Oruan Liverpool now. And for tell Omar ground zero, say we gonna know say Biya na a criminal. And for all the commanders, for all the generals and all the foot soldiers there, we want to tell them say any man will commit crimes against humanity, against our civilians, that person could be brought to the book sooner or later. Now just a matter of time. So when be rest assured, there will be justice for Akum Julius, there will be justice for Mami Appiah, there will be justice for Baby Mata. Eventually, we must stand and for sure the world say we'll get a good sense of entitlement, a good sense of justice For no show the world say this killing the way this man now kill our people them. He don't pain me and we no go take in anything less. So my country people, the killing of Mr. Paul Biya, it still go on. It never stop. It never slow. We then get information from a very enclave area. Say last Saturday, we get the pictures and where they come now from one small village for Savannah State Day. I think for in between around Oko area. Might bring up the pictures. It talks about La Republique du Cameroon, their military. It now work at key people them in a joint formation for Rum, Ngang, and Gom. Now the small villages, and then two small villages and that we there around that side after you don't pass Oko, you want go that side for Ashik. So for these villages, there for Rum, for Ngang, and for Gom, La Republique, it don't key about 6 people there. Where they go for road, they pass Okona road, they don't shoot them Okona road. They be there for there with the same group of Bororo people the way they don't gather them, put them inside the worker. So we call on our people, they say, me them be vigilant. And me them keep in touch with their people there, they stay for village. To report this incident and to gather pictures and witness testimony for all this atrocity the way Mr. Paul Biya, the committer, for area the way you know get media coverage. It be very important. Every sighting for La Republique, as soon as they always report, I'm going to continue for reporter. I mean, more people that they join for report. We take pictures and videos for the number plate for every La Republique to Cameroon, so that we will fit target in the future for International Criminal Court all the commanders them for La Republique for those units them. Be them come account. There must be justice for all these people that they kill them. These are human beings being slaughtered by La Republique to Cameroon, their military. We now also see how La Republique du Cameroon, their motor they ran before for all side, their so-called armored car them. It ran before the law sense for all side. The last time we ran see the oil down for inside Atlantic State. We ran see the oil down for inside Atlantic State. Just now as one come on air, one La Republique again that their military car it don't come for now for inside the military car now this inside military car day. Now the armored car is no, there is a new one. Might get that that picture. Armored car just fall now for Sonak Street for inside Bamenda. When I see how Sonak Street it and they dust down cover the whole place. This is Sonak Street. I cannot believe this place. I used to pass this place when I was going to church. When I be a child, I go for church for Baptist church. I used to pass this place. Very beautiful place, tarred road, everything. Look at how Bamenda ran be under this colonialism system. So the one at Sonak Street, another La Republique du Cameroon, the armored car. Now only God did not knock them. Armored car, one of them go borrow money, na go buy the one in about China or about na made in China or where. All the armored car they ran bikini for only by themselves. How many of these armored car are lost? Only by themselves. Eh? They say they play football. You will fall down when man over kick you. Then when they kick you, go do na how. So right here say one down four for Sonak Street. They ran bikini fear. They call people they can't help them push them. Who's a man for them for harvest that one them. But I think in that way they go on. So that one are behind if for inside Gota for behind St. Agnes for inside Bamenda. So before one take when I get when I inside the presentation, but today we will focus primarily on our diplomatic moves and on the diplomacy way they go on, because they just get so many reports for Gambona concerning defense. But I want to keep that one for defense because we get two different presentations the way I need to do one for defense. One for give an update about defense and our missions the whole done carrying out. The second one now for give an update about the preparation for the launching of the stabilization force. The special forces that can be selected across Ambazonia, they don't do their training, they don't finish, they don't go practical. That means they don't go for field, for battlefield. When I see the action for Metazeng, it will be now the example that for the capability for these forces, they say they will target bunkers for La Republique to try to take them out of strategic places. And also they will be specialized also for make sure that they will be able to stop this their convoy, they will deny them access into our safe zone and liberated area using the armored car. So we don't see how the explosive they don't go on. One explosive it don't work fine for Bengui Road Day. The second one, that one the second one they put on for that road. it no work fine. So we don't try to investigate to find out. But La Republic they will pick am up. So we try to see, recheck the connections and all those things, and for make sure say we will be accurate. When I know say we for ADF will be in a people them for accuracy. We need one became waste when our resources the one that in trust them for our hand. So before we go for there, I want to see take on about Capo to show now how we can establish now one of an area for inside Paco, if we call them a liberated area for inside Paco, around Moyuka area, they would not deny the mayor for the La Republic, colonial mayor, it and still try to come for market. We don't talk say all man for market go sell, no man no go pay tax for anybody. So until the transitional authority go there in place, and then it will decide on this type of things. But that video then this way they come from our commander for inside Paco. It show how they don't drive the mayor for inside market. All man they now for inside market they do their things normally. So now the video footage is this for inside Moyoka. My share and we do now.
January the 20th, 2021. Now the market is this in a market of this we a colonial mayor Moyoka you can take tickets for our area for inside Paco. We the Amazonian Defense Forces we push you away. Don't drive them away. If you see the market they find calm and tranquility. People that they carry on the activities fine. Don't send them away, they not come again.
So now they see our forces then they have to secure our territory. No, make our civilians that they carry along with their normal activity, their commercial activity. The forces them they didn't have to protect and defend against the invaders. So make all man know very well.
They say that tomato them, say that small for among them. What do you mean? Say how they find now council book.
So despite all our republic to come around their propaganda, make una see say our forces them, then they for them to protect our people them, to create an environment where the people participate for their economic life, live in freedom and happiness. So this is what is going on in all the liberated areas. People are living happily and they are going about their day-to-day life, except in cases when we get invasion by the terrorist forces of La Republic, where they come to disperse people them, chase our people them, right for inside bush, like the one where they don't go for inside Maoto. When I know say for Maoto, where they can keep or over 10 civilians per day, La Republic they don't start begin terrorize people them. Video footage is they show them how all man way they for inside Maoto, they don't run for inside bush. Now the video footage that this way don't come.
Today is 17 January 2021. This is the village called Mautu. You can see for yourself.
So now Mautu this. Now the village you say La Republic it don't slaughter over 10 people them, 10 civilians them. Now that killing it don't put Paul Biya for big wahala. Mr. Paul Biya be Vondo. He be wanted now because of this killing them. The international community, Francois Fall, when I be the representative for the Secretary General of the United Nations for inside Central Africa, he then make a request to make the United Nations investigate these killings the way Mr. Paul Biya, a gangster, and the Rankandu for inside Maoto. Because of that, La Republic, it has sent huge number of troops for day to intimidate the victim them. So the whole Maoto, it don't chakara, it don't run. But be definitely sure from information what they get them. So the weakness is the way they be for that crime. They be willing to talk under certain circumstances then, and they will talk indeed to the international community for make sure they Paul Biya a pay. So now see for area the way like public they can invade them, can commit atrocity them. Now for the way people they run, but for area where Ambazona they run liberate them or soldiers and they for the things and they in peace. So we also I want to take also move go for the great state of Bui. For the great state of Bui. Oh yes, I see our chief, our leader of our liberation, he make comment. He said despite the massacre of 2021 has begun well. Yeah, definitely 2021 have begun well. I think our people they don't see the operation the way our forces they don't carry on the new capability. We've done the talk since 2020. So we'll solve the problem for the armored car. We then get the first test of this bomb for inside Omoyo job, and if you work very, very well, they don't develop them, they don't, the technology don't go around. It don't therefore we will feel continue to expand for use those technology and our people that they see the result. And also the stabilization force, it go now the game changer that a very big game changer. We don't see the chain cutter, the heavy machine gun, the way they use them, and the effectiveness, the tenacity and the boldness for these forces them. I think say this they come from their training. So that's here they don't carry attack for inside Matazeng, and the same attack, the same group they be attack for inside Manu when we get that incursion for inside Manu. So we don't start in a very, very good good footing. It really shows the correlation between the command structure, the leadership structure we for abroad, and the forces on the ground. It can be more smooth than before, and the unity will get them. It will only help we because God knows we do need our sister forces. Them they play a fundamental role in our plan for our liberation movement. For those people that if you say the ADF want to be the only force on the ground, they make a big mistake because in our plan to liberate Ambazonia, the sister forces, the peripheral forces, they play a crucial role. As soon as we see with the launching of the stabilization force, it will give una enough pride. When I will see how we can get a professional army for ground zero, where it will take a whole state and hold them with the capability to hold them, and when I invest very well, and when I will see the wisdom behind the which way it only happen for behind the scene all throughout this period. So I go want to take una for good una for inside the great state of Bui, how we would cry one of our soldier way it will be lost and for the we will honor that soldier for weekend. So I want to take una see how our general he then visit one of the school them inside the one a community school for inside the great state of Bui in collab for celebrate the passing of our soldier way before in battle for against from the Bui warriors the way they be attacking and killing for some uprising where we go talk with them close that uprising because we done they don't give command for the people for Bui say they will observe a symbolic ghost town for celebrate the life of the 23 ADF fighter the way they become for can join some other fighter and for inside Bui then together they will be 39 forces them where they will slaughter them and some of them still be unaccountable for today. So one of our soldiers will be killed there again by the Bui warriors.
Actually, this
for a
is
general, if you see which way the governing council education body they do for ground zero, opening community schools like this to give our people free education so that they can have the basic knowledge and have a wartime education as we carry on this war for our liberation. I want to see how the other part for our general them how they love their community, how they do community service, they encourage their people.
They have just arrived now, and it is in solidarity with the death of Takilam, a soldier of the ADF in Gorkan. And it should be noted that
when I hear from the narrator a voice, we don't always assure our people and say our community school are a security free zone. Community school do not have any Amazonian forces stationed there. Now those area the way get no forces around, so that La Republic they don't get no excuse for can slaughter those students them. So now a complete volunteer system where the governing council education board that set up, the teachers them they need to be paid by the governing council directly, even though they help the school with materials and incentive, but usually we don't create a system for ground zero where they run on itself. It get protection, it get directive, it get aid from the governing council education board, and it also get material them and our curriculum what again for them they teach the students and so they build our nation from bottom up. So Nafisi,
these children they were close friends.
General Capo,
They were close
the
friends
lion
to,
of Bui,
to
now that
Takilam,
he visit the students them.
who died, and many of them, most of the times they call him by his name, Kimbo. And today they have come to mourn. This is class 3. After closing from school, they have just arrived here to mourn together with the family, with the community, with the.
So that one they give una a window for the Ambazonia we fight for. Ambazonia where the soldier and they for the people when they so that they stand with the people, where we take care of our own, we train our own, we give our own people the education where they deserve a clean and good, a competitive education where they stand up for fight for the war. So, ladies and gentlemen, I go on for take now for inside which way it happen, and also a lot of people, them, especially our Amazonian, the Americans, them, right now that they watched the inauguration of Joe Biden. And I would want to congratulate Joe Biden and would also want to thank Donald Trump for standing up for Amazonia, even though it may be sufficient. We want to thank him if he does sanction Mr. Paul Biya Vondo for all the atrocity the way the cause of Amazonia by removing the La République du Cameroon from the trade agreement with the beginning with the United States, to get preferential treatment than when they do tradings with America. We want to thank Donald Trump for stop all collaboration between the U.S. military and La République, the military where they save for fight against Boko Haram for northern La République du Cameroon. We want to thank them. This one is shown as a Cameroon they do illegal action them. Cameroon a conduct not be acceptable. Phobia a prosecution of this war is not acceptable by the Americans. So thank Donald Trump for that good job where they want to do. And today we'll be happy say we get a new president for America, Joe Biden, who will be a better friend for we for inside Amazonia. But I see say the one Amazonian, it then come out prominent among the speaker them where they go talk today for that inaugural, when nobody but Dr. Fomunian, Christopher. So when I imagine how many dignitaries then there for that inauguration will give amongst them Dr. Christopher Fomunye and Christopher Fomunyo. Now, one of those people, the way they behind the coalition for negotiation and dialogue, a coalition where they don't come up with a survey where they don't show, say, Amazonia and then more than 90% they want absolute independence, they don't want special status, they don't want federalism. We hope, say, it will represent the indicatives then for that pollings for inside the United States as it can get a prominent place now for inside American government. We also see Karen Bass for inside there also. And the diplomatic pressure it is built against La Republique, this time with a stick. When I know say before the American government they want to do the inauguration, they already passed a bipartisan bill for their Congress where they call for the sanctioning of Mr. Pobia and they call for Mr. Pobia for end the terrorism for inside Amazonia. We also then see the incoming Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, for America, where then give a very, very powerful speech in the inauguration. And just like I been explaining for now during the time where we be talk about the bill where they be passing for Congress, this it will show say the American government they target na La Republique because they know say na La Republique it be the aggressor. Na La Republique it carry out genocide against Amazonia, and all the words for talk about Amazonia the so-called separatists their own action na those diplomatic balance. It be very very apparent and very clear for how they interviewed in the confirmation of Anthony Blinken, the Secretary of State of the United States of America. A language it portrayed that one very, very clearly.
I think it starts with our very active engagement, not being AWOL when these problems emerge. Ethiopia, I share your deep concerns. We have seen a number of deeply concerning actions taken, including atrocities directed both at people in Tigray, directed at Eritrean refugees. In Ethiopia, we, I think, need to see much greater access to the region, accountability, an effort to put a dialogue.
It be very important, Mona, listen.
Issues that cause the conflict can actually be discussed and litigated as opposed to dealt with through violence. We need to see a restoration of communications. We need access for humanitarian assistance in the region. And I worry as well that what started there has the potential to be destabilizing throughout the Horn of Africa. So I would like to see American diplomacy fully engaged in trying to contend with this challenge. You cited a number of other places where we have, I share your concerns about the elections in Uganda, concerns in Cameroon recently, particularly violence directed at the Anglophone population. So there are a whole series of places where
So it be very important maybe we know the priorities for America, how they don't cut them out. For the demand we don't demand for their Congress. Now a resolution, the first one in Africa, now a resolution against La République du Cameroon, the atrocity them against Amazonia. And the Secretary of State for America, it be very, very clear with the word them. In the mixed word. There is no two comparison between their side and Amazonia their side. The atrocity them. There is no two comparison. He is very, very precise. He says La République, the La République brutal campaign of subjugation of the English-speaking people of Cameroon. I quote, brutal campaign of subjugation of the English-speaking people of Cameroon. What do we mean? Now say the La America, they talk say La République, they be brutal, they use atrocity them, use terrorist tactics them, burn villages, extrajudicial killing, targeted killing, rape and torture for subdue Amazonia. That means say against our will. For subdue we, the people of Amazonia. It's not acceptable in all standards. This one it be clear say American government, the new administration, it be in line. And all the indicatives they will get them from them, it be very, very good. Amazonia they need to be very, very happy. And it not just end for day. We now see how the United Kingdom, their own parliamentarians and their lawmakers, them, they stand up for talk on the favor of Amazonia. So,
Madam Deputy Speaker, just 5 days before the US Senate was attacked, they came together to approve a resolution co-sponsored by 20 senators from both parties, from Marco Rubio to Cory Booker. And it was about this, about the brutal campaign of subjugation by the French-speaking government in Cameroon against the country's English-speaking minority.
yeah, the wordings. When I see the wordings how it be the same, it is clear there is a consensus already amongst the members of the Security Council about what is going on. They are not ignorant. So it's clear. The wordings are the same. The wordings of Tony Blinken and the Congress and the parliamentarian in the United Kingdom is the same. A campaign, a brutal campaign of subjugation against the English-speaking people. Against the English-speaking people. You know, it's a diplomatic language to call Amazonia or call the Southern Cameroon because of the former relationship with this country they get on with La République. So it is a consensus. There are just so many things that we cannot spill outside because you know the nature of diplomacy. But there is a consensus that what is going on in Amazonia, which is a reality, is not a war being fought by two sides. It is a violent. What we are doing for the most part is self-defense. Our liberation action is there definitely. But what is actually happening is a mighty country that has its leg on our neck, carrying out, in the word of Blinken, Anthony Blinken, and the United Kingdom parliamentarian, a government carrying out a brutal campaign of subjugation. A brutal campaign of subjugation against the people. So the world know exactly what is going on. And
the Senate resolution condemned with great force the atrocities committed by the Anglophone separatist militias. And it speaks with equal power about the actions of the Cameroon government, including, I quote, torture and sexual abuse, massacres and burnings of villages, use of live ammunition against protesters, arbitrary arrests and unlawful detention, forced disappearance and deaths in custody, attacks on journalists and the regular killing of civilians, including women, children and the elderly.
So, it be important to me when I know say they condemn atrocities the way some faction they don't commit them for this Amazonia. We'll be very aware. Since we fight against La République, domestic enemy them, I will forgive them because we now can't do a Capo, you know, go call my name, you know, go call my name. But we'll know exactly some people the way they pretend they name with this struggle, where they don't promote crimes against humanity, where they are named there today for day. But most importantly, Mr. Paul Biya B. Vondo, he named there for day. Atangaji Paul, he named there for day. General K. Osomo, he did it, then get plenty people in the Republic with their name, the name for that list. They will go down for their crime. They will be held responsible for all their crimes for Ambazonia. So our people keep on fighting. Fight for your right, fight the just fight, and justice will come. So this woman did not explain exactly which way they go on. When I know say Tanwe La Republic, if you see the British government, the British parliamentarian, they meet with the governing council and a joint team, because the governing council will invite the IGK for there as well. They meet with their parliamentarian, they then debate the issue with their parliamentarians, and La Republic will go offer them oil. We now fight that oil. So now La Republic they offer them more and more deal. But this deal will not go ahead because their parliamentarian they object as soon as
Madam Deputy Speaker, the Senate resolution noted approvingly that exactly 1 year before, the Office of the US Trade Representative, remember this is Donald Trump's trade representative, the direct counterpart of the Secretary of State for International Trade, had terminated Cameroon's access to preferential trade rights due, I quote, to persistent gross violations of internationally recognized human rights. And finally, Madam Deputy Speaker, in that same spirit, the Senate resolution urged members of the international community to join the United States in a strategic collective effort to put pressure on the government of Cameroon, including through, I quote, the use of all available diplomatic and punitive tools. And I quote that Senate resolution at length, Madam Deputy Speaker, because I believe that we must ask ourselves what on earth those senators would think if they knew that on that very same day.
So the essence what one show now the discussion with the UK, the lawmaker, they raise objection for any deal as the minister for England, they want make deal with the Republic to Cameroon. They don't be object them, they don't bring objection against those deals, and La Republic they run under the boss. The country economy go should be shattered in shambles. The rank go host cup, it don't become a disaster. We don't see say they even for scarf. They call an can or now chan or whatever name they call the Nations Cup. We don't see they bring their player then inside armored car. The Zimbabwe their team they ran talk for the newspaper for Zimbabwe say the FIFA it don't classify, it don't raise the alert level for security risk for the Nations Cup due to the activities of the Amazonian forces that were grounded into a level they call a level 4. It will be a critical level or a severe level when at the two highest level, then that way if you make a meet and stop activity for inside our territory, but it will be significantly very high. Even though we say Amazonia they begin as sorry had them, things are going to go worse. So we will continue to carry out sabotage action then to stop this Nations Cup. And we call on all the other players them and the country they and leave our territory because our people then they in plain war against the Republic to come around their military, they carry out genocide for inside our territory. So we don't see how the Nations Cup for inside La Republic to Cameroon, it then become a big disgrace. So this Nations Cup, if Mr. Paul Biya before say he go organize the Nations Cup, maybe he can turn us on scene where he go bring it pleasure, give it victory against Ambazonia. We don't see it don't come up, it don't turn a total disgrace. So we don't see the video the way they come.
The one a history. The one a real history.
So now see the history La Republic they make up. History for carry people go for back. Now their own citizens they talk so for inside stadium. Now they come this way the Royal America, La Republic they become now a shame. This country now a shame for Africa. Now a shame for the war. Who be carry this Nations Cup go game for this type of country? For the history of Nations Cup, they no be there ever present any Nations Cup with this type of scandal. Even lights up, they even lights up for buy light, for buy generator, for put light to that station will cost how much for a whole country where you can keep people for bush for inside Amazonia.
People like they will feel like no paper. People like they will feel like no they want a real history. Oh my God!
And the Republic
for us, man.
Cameroon, let them go where the match won't start. Let them go where the match won't start. Hey, people, you go disgrace, man. Sir,
that disgrace. That Republic that disgrace.
Big disgrace.
The whole country. People they repent. So when I see that country, that shit whole country, I think I see them. I think I see them. So this is the show now, the type of low-level people that we would can yoke ourselves with them. Dr. Cho Ayaba, the leader of our revolution, he then give a powerful interview with the press secretary, Mr. Lucas Asu, where he captured the essence. Why would he fight with these people then? I would like to play the excerpt. Here.
They don't own us. We owe them nothing. It is our land. It will not be shared. Now, let me say this. Somebody asks, what is the compromise we are ready to make? Listen. Dignity, they took. Humanity, they took. They occupied the land, drove us. Life, they took. What else is left?
So, maybe we understand what Dr. Chudi talk. It be very, very important. Which way the Republic it don't take up away from we. They don't turn our life into cockroaches and rats. They are beginning to come out. Their senator announced on the Senate floor. Say they are beginning to go enter Amazonia, come up back with the Nova key up to 300 people or 30 people the way they know where they will kill them. Now the lawmaker, the senator, they talk for Senate floor. So when they are beginning to enter Amazonia, they know go come they know kill up to 30 people. They enter from village to village, slaughtering Pekin, taking no prisoner, executing women, executing children, no mercy. They ask we some will surrender. We will kneel down for our food when they match our mammy them, kill our children like that. They don't take away our dignity. They don't take away our voice. For decades after decades, we complain, we beg for dialogue, we beg for negotiation. From the SCNC conference, we give them time. Harmony Boba write for them, plead for time. They ignore. They don't even acknowledge receipt for our complaint, for our petition them. As I ran the tell for the last presentation, the worst thing if you do for a human being, now for ignore them, like they never exist, for not listen to them, for not respond to them. When we complain, the minister then talk, say we go tired. Only we say we will come back. Because they treat you like dogs, less than human beings. Like our leader for our war of liberation talk. They don't strip us off of our dignity, of our humanity. And then the one we say we will come back and crow with our knee. If we can take something less, make ridicules of our chiefs, our traditions, appoint stupid idiots like class 3 drop out at Tanaji Poor, put them over us. For tell we say now the kind of people that this one are supposed to be. 10 fine men who have gone through journalism school into North Korea pulpits. And then they want us to go on our knees to beg to live with them, to ask for amnesty. No, we will not compromise on our dignity, on our human right, on our sovereignty, on our freedom. We will have the freedom or death. If La Republic is going to hold our land, they will go through us, all of us, like Honorable Weber talk. They will need to slaughter every Southern Cameroonians, every Amazonian. We will not make an iota concession on this crucial matter of our dignity, our sovereignty, and our humanity. We shall fight them block by block. We shall mash them. La Republic to Cameroon, the ministry, the Prime Minister officers contact me 2 days ago for tell me say they try to can catch me for Hong Kong. Say Hong Kong now became go under China now, so they go can't catch me for Hong Kong. And I laugh at the thing I say. They don't say send me messages to my WhatsApp, send me messages for my messenger. Say they won't catch me, they go catch me. First of all, before you want catch man way you go catch man, you need to announce him. You need to announce him. Second of all, na desperation. Third of all, and then the fear. Me dey understand say we and the Amber boys them na one blood. The boy the way they go die for that country for their freedom. Their brother they go bury them, carry their gun them. So one that then gun them, go ahead for fight. Now we, our land. Even if they succeed, we are not say they no fit first succeed. Because now them be guilty of crime. Now them way the world they sanction them. Now them way the world they condemn them. Now them go for prison. Now they are named them for inside list. Because we are doing a righteous thing. We are doing a liberation struggle. The same thing that all freedom fighters, all independentists have done before us. We are doing a noble thing. And even if I was to be caught like they did with Siseko, because nobody knows, I will go with my head hanging up. And I don't go stay for that jail like Siseko them or any other person. I didn't want to compare myself with any person. I don't go shut up for that jail, stay for that jail for years and years. I will go for there, I will explode. I will explode with that jail and I will go down with them. And I will do it with my head held high. Even if they come to execute me, I will go down with my head high that I have done a noble job to stand up for my people when they needed me the most. To speak out when my people could not speak. To be bold and to champion their cause when they could not speak for themselves. Because they are under occupation. The military of Cameroon will target them, will kill them. Will do it again and again. Let Mr. Biya know we are not afraid of anything. What should we be afraid of again? When you see the way they are killing our people, we would rather go down there and fight and go down to the grave with those who have gone before us, those who have heed our call and picked up arms to defend our sovereignty. Let them know that this is a different generation. We are not a group of infiltrators that are working for money, where they be willing to surrender themselves, so they will take up their hands and surrender themselves to the enemy. When I feel, imagine these guys, Chris Anu and the group, they can even think that they can surrender to the enemy. Imagine how many people they have sent to go and fight war and die. Then they can go surrender that for the enemy hand. God forbid. But so long as the governing council, the Ambazonia Defense Forces exist, let it be known that there are patriotic Ambazonians, Southern Cameroonians, that will never ever accept to surrender, to give up, to concede, to compromise who we are as a people, as a nation. We will not negotiate our dignity. We will rather fight and die than to live with the shame of surrendering to La République du Cameroon. There is no surrender. It is give us freedom. Give the people freedom or you give us death. Give the people freedom or you will give us death. We will continue to fight you block by block, neighborhood by neighborhood. Even if you take us out, the next leaders will be more radical. When people they say we are radical, I laugh because they have not met people like woman of God, Immaculate. They have not met the leaders that are behind us. They are far more radical. The Nigerians, Mama Nigeria, Mama Fine Piki, they are far more radical. So we are there. We mean business. Our forces, they have realized themselves. They are coming together. We need business. We need business for our freedom. In the coming weeks, I think 2 or 3 weeks, things will be set to launch the stabilization force, and they will be commissioned to go in now and fully carry out their mission according to the roadmap that they have set out for them. So, Ambazonians, the only thing I can ask you now, our soldiers are armed. Yes, there are some forces. Please, I want to specifically appeal for funding for a specific unit. I don't want to call the name of that unit, that have been waiting for their weapons for too long. you know, in ADF, we everything we do, we follow our roadmap. We don't just provide weapons anyhow. So we follow our roadmap. That is a priority. But we still need those weapons there. We need that specific donation. And we need the granules. There are things we cannot say, but we need granule, at least minimum. The project is 10,000 granule, minimum 10,000 granule. We need it. If you never ever donate, if you want independence, if you feel so you get solidarity, you get sorry heart. When I see how ground zero that respond to the unity, all side that whole goes down, double way to every day before. Then make we who do for diaspora, make we double our effort. Call Lucas Asu. Tell you say you don't know what's Capo Daniel show. You don't touch a hand, you want give even a $20, even a 100, 200, even a 10,000. Please, give for the freedom of our homeland. We are the most trusted people. We deliver. I said today no be defense briefing. I forgive for the videos of what did go down. And now when they add my position as a deputy defense chief, that means I will get more access for provide una way to where I feel say it be necessary for una for no. I will give una more as time will go. So for the meantime, ladies and gentlemen,
to compromise. There would be no compromise.
For the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I want call una for do una own sacred duty, for play una own part at this historic moment as we mobilize our troops. Una see just 2 days ago, La Republic launched a major attack targeting one of our major bases in Batibo. An outpost had a full assault by La Republic. They fought for over 6 hours. And we lost just one soldier. According to the few report we killed 3 of their La Republic du Cameroon, their soldiers. So it tells you that our soldiers have been battle tested, they are ready for the war, and they are ready to move ahead with our plans. We need to move big. I urge you, please, after everything said and done, if you are not donating, you are not pushing us enough to be effective. Go and make that call to Mama Wali and Lucas Asu. Tell them Capo Daniel have asked you, either you donate for the stabilization fund or for the money for the 10,000 granule. I want donation. We need 3 sticks in the hands of these guys. This is a unit that have been trained for specific things in ground zero, and they have been there for close to 1 year. Because they don't align with the plan that we have already going on, with the operations that we have, because we are focused on those operations. So they are basically been left out. So I need that money to give this to get these weapons for these guys. They need those weapons. So this is special appeal. If you want to make a donation towards this specific unit, call Lucas Asu, because I don't deal with money. He deals with the treasurer. Call Lucas Asu or call Mama Wali. Tell them that please, for that particular unit, if some man will want buy AK for ground zero, I beg, buy it now. This guy, they need at least minimum 3 AK to add weight to them get now. They need minimum 3 AK. If one man will buy them, he will do a big job. Big job. They need at least 3 AK. So we'll come to the end for the show. Next time we will get phone calls, we receive phone calls, and for any man where they watch me for ground zero, thank una for open una door for una house. Make a come for una television today. I talk for una. Una keep pray for our boys. Then una pray for our leader, Dr. Chuayaba. They go to intensify diplomacy now. Our Secretary of State, Dr. Larry Ayamba, also they don't get big diplomatic meetings. Them things that they go on fine. Ambazonian partner they come together. The enemies and where the one can hell we for fight against La Republic. The enemy of La Republic with the one can hell we they come together more and more every day. Things are getting better. Good news are coming every day. As for ground zero, it be very sacrosanct. Our country Sunday. Now a big foundation for this revolution. How Ataman the poor they talk the fight goes down, they fight this go up kind down. Our people they need to demonstrate. So they stand for separation and independence. Before even our forces they back them up. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen, and see you again next week on the show where we go focus on the Bui 23. Hopefully within Sunday I would then get time to do defense briefing with Una. God bless. Ciao.